Hey Tab Nation once again. So in this video I think a lot of you might find it very useful if you're into gaming or chatbots. I see these asked a lot on Reddit, Facebook, whatnot. People kind of saying, how can I improve my script to seem more human and less likely to kind of trigger a anti-cheat kind of thing. So these are a few of the things that I do when I'm trying to make a script be more human, and not always just for like cheating purposes, but maybe if I'm making like a chat bot for myself, I want it to seem human. So we'll run through those ideas now. Now I'm not really going to show any of these in action just because it's a little harder to do that. But these are things that you can just insert into your script or adjust in your script to meet your needs. So the first one, and this is probably the one I always talk about the most when I'm just replying to people on how to make stuff seem more human, is random sleeps. So we're going to use the random function here, store the variable as VarRand, and I just picked anywhere between 3 seconds and 10 seconds. So this is done in milliseconds, so 1,000 milliseconds just equals a second. And then I'm just gonna, when I do my sleep, I'm just gonna say, that variable with the percentage signs around it, and that's gonna just, when you're trying to like do something in a video game or as a chatbot, it seems a little weird when the function you're trying to do is happening exactly every 5 seconds. That's easy for them to kind of catch on. So adding these random sleeps helps a little bit. I definitely recommend doing a lot of these things and not just like one or the other. Kind of compiling all these together with which ones will work for you is definitely going to help in the long run. So the next one is random replies. If you're sitting there with your chatbot and it's always saying the exact same phrases over and over again, that's another thing that's just going to be kind of weird for the system to notice. So once again, we're going to use random a lot. Obviously, humans are more random in scripting, so the more randoms we use, the better. And I'm just going to pick a number 1 through 3. And if, that variable equals 1, send hey. If it equals 2, send howdy. Equals 3, send hi. So this just adds like more natural communication when you're trying to do something. If you're in a chat, sure, people a lot of times are always going to say hey first, but this is going to seem a little bit more human. People are less likely to think it's a bot if it's always giving different responses. Now this is definitely probably the biggest one that I think could be very helpful if you can find some way to incorporate this into your script, and that's sometimes just make a mistake. Have your script actually like screw up like every once in a while. Once again, those anti-cheat, the chatbot, detectors, whatever. If they see that you're performing the same 2 keys at the exact same time 50 times in a row, that looks shady. So the way I'm doing it here is I'm just creating a loop, which just means keep doing this thing over and over again. And I'm going to use a count. This variable can be whatever you want. I just stuck with a simple count. And that's just basically a counter. It's 1, 2, 3 every time this hits. So it's going to say I'm playing this game and I need to send 1 and then space over and over again. Well, here what I'm doing, I'm going to send 1, I'm going to send space. And then it's going to do an if check on that count to see if it equals 10. If not, it's just going to go back up to the starting of the loop. It's going to go, 8, 9, 10. Up. It's going to hit 10. And now we're just going to send 3 and then H and then reset that count. So that kind of just adds more random. Obviously, you got to be careful on what kind of mistake you're making in case, like, if you push send escape as your mistake, you might exit out of your game and then the rest of the script's pretty much not going to really work while you're away from your computer. So just kind of adding some mistakes here and there is, definitely going to make it seem a little bit more natural because, there's no way you're sitting there, one space, hundreds of times in perfect, unison. I mean, you might be able to, but this is definitely going to add more variety to it. Break up words. So instead of like what I did up before where I'm just saying send hey just going at it. I'm kind of, breaking up more how you type naturally. If I'm spelling out the word hey on my keyboard, I'm not having exact breaks in between each key press. I'm not, H, 500 milliseconds before I push E, 500 milliseconds exactly before I push Y. I'm going to be a little bit more all over the place between each key press, and that's what this is trying to kind of mimic. So here it's just saying random between 300 milliseconds and a second. I figure that's probably about what most people are typing. And then sleep for that long, then send H, do another random, because we want it to, be random between each key, more natural, human-like. And yeah, going down like that. So that just makes it seem more natural in the sense of how a human would type between each key press. Make spelling mistakes. This one could go either way, I feel like. Making a spelling mistake, that's just a simple send hello, what's up, and I accidentally, instead of pushing the O, I pushed the P key, which, when I'm typing really fast, I'm making mistakes where, my fat finger is just accidentally hitting another key by mistake. This is going to be seen more natural, but I wouldn't do this too often. People might think, depending on your scenario, they might think you're just like a scammer or something, and you have just poor English skills. A lot of times kind of throw people off. They're like, oh, I'm on an English channel, but this person's making a lot of English spelling mistakes, and that can just make people feel a little weird sometimes about it. It really depends on your scenario. I would do this, but not a lot. You don't want to seem like you don't know how to type at all, or you just don't know what you're doing, I guess. I don't really know how to explain that one. It's a very weird scenario there, but it can help. So kind of going off what I just said there with making that spelling mistake, redo typing info. Maybe you're in a chat where they can live see you typing, or they just see you, kind of backspacing. This probably won't happen very often where you're going to see someone live what they're typing, but I have seen different scenarios where that could help. That is, if you got the chance where you can use this somehow, this is definitely going to make you seem human, because it just doesn't seem likely that a automation script would correct itself by using backspace to refix a word. It seems very unlikely. So probably not going to pop up a lot where you're going to be able to use this, but if you can, this is, I think, would be the biggest selling point you could ever do. But anti-cheats, maybe they see that you're backspace and they think, oh, that seems very human. I'm not really sure how that would work. If you know, hit the comments below and let me know so I know a little bit more. And we'll do the last one here, but before that, definitely hit that subscribe button. I'm pumping out usually 2, maybe 3 videos every week having to do with automation, gaming, work, just your life in general. Love to see you guys here again. So the last one, this one's definitely good for chat bots, long pauses in typing. I know a lot of times if I'm in Skype or Teams or Discord and I'm typing, or somebody else is typing, a lot of times you can see that they're actively typing, and there's so many times where that person just suddenly stops typing for maybe 10 seconds, and then they start typing again. For me personally, it's because usually I have a word and I'm I don't know if I spelled that right, so I'm just real quick, I stop typing and I'm Googling it to see if I spelled it correctly or whatever. And so, that seems a lot more human to me, because I see that all the time where people just mid-sentence, they take a quick few seconds to stop typing, and then they continue. So that's what I'm doing here, with just send, hey, let me help you, stop for 10 seconds with that, and then send with enter. If you guys can think of any other ways on what I showed you, how to improve off this, or any ideas that maybe I've missed, definitely comment below. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very interested in, this kind of stuff for chatbots and gaming. So the more information we can put into this video, the better it's going to be for everybody, and just helping us with our scripts seem a lot more human. Alright guys, thank you for watching. See you on the next one.